to my live and virtual audience. Today I will be sharing some information with you about a pressing issue in the United States. As I describe this issue, I want you to guess whom, who, or what the issue is that I am discussing. They're everywhere. They're on the streets, bus stops, they're even probably at your nearest local gas station. According to Thomas, 2.5 to 3.5 million of them sleep at shelters, transitional housing, as well as in public spaces that aren't meant for human habitation. If you guessed the homeless, you're correct. The homeless population are rising every day, and it's an issue within the United States that needs the attention of everyone. Today, I would like to share with you the causes and effects that homelessness has on the United States as a whole. You may ask, what is homelessness? Homelessness is when an individual doesn't have a stable or permanent form of housing. Typically, whenever an individual is homeless, it's difficult for them not only to access a home, or I guess obtain a home, as well as maintain it. Homelessness has been an issue dating back all the way to the 1640s. In my research, I noticed that in the 1980s, the Housing and Urban Development Department got a cut in their funding, which also is a department that helps fund the resources that help individuals who are homeless. Also, I saw in my research that in the 1640s, they described homelessness as a moral decision, and they basically as if it was a disorder. Also describing it as a deficiency and a character flaw. There are many causes to homelessness that I'll be discussing with you today. According to Martin, what is apparent is lack of affordable housing for some of society's poorest members. The homeless are unable for numerous reasons to secure basic housing due to factors such as lack of job skills, work experience, little or no education, as well as training, drug and alcohol abuse, mental illnesses, and a questionable work history. Today, I will be sharing with you 3 of the things that I found that were the causes that could possibly lead to homelessness that I felt were the most important to share with you, my audience. I decided to share with you the 3 causes: lack of affordable housing, unemployment, as well as mental illness. Lack of affordable housing was one of the single greatest causes of homelessness. Typically, an individual who is renting, the rent should be no more than 30% of that individual's income, but reasons such as gentrification and supply and demand of low cost and affordable housing, individuals such as landlords find their way into a view that word that people consider to be as greed, because due to the supply and demand, they have the option of now increasing their rent to be at what would be viewed as the maximum amount for profit. Another cause that could lead to homelessness is unemployment. Unemployment and homelessness go hand in hand due to the fact that if an individual doesn't have a steady source of income or a way to even make money for themselves to take care of themselves, it leads to an increased risk of homelessness. Different ways that could lead you to unemployment recently is COVID, due to individuals leaving the office and going home to work from home. Also, COVID caused a lot of people to be laid off due to there being a lack of business within every market, basically in the United States. Another thing that could lead to unemployment is lack of employable skills, as well as the supply and demand for the same job that everyone has the skills to do. Another cause that can lead to another cause that could lead to mental illness is, another thing that could lead to homelessness is mental illness. Mental illness is a issue that is not really talked about within the United States. Typically, people don't even get diagnosed with the mental illness that they do have, and when they do get diagnosed with the mental illness, there aren't any type of resources for them to deal with the issue or medications within their gaps that they can afford to also take care of that mental illness. So with the mental illnesses that are common within the homeless population are depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, PTSD, as well as substance abuse and anxiety disorders. These disorders can lead to cognitive and behavioral disorders, which also make it difficult for an individual to get a job, which can also lead to unemployment, which is another cause of homelessness. Also with homelessness, it is seen as it has recently been criminalized in the form of different cities making it, or trying to make it not as much as seen as much of as an issue as it is within the United States. Typically, whenever the main cause of them to criminalize homelessness is in order for them to basically to take care of like the visual effects that it causes for the city. It doesn't really bring good business or make anyone want to live within that city. So whenever they criminalize it, they have a control on it in a sense that there's less homeless that are on the streets that are visible for the people who do have houses to see, which makes the quality of life for them better, but not necessarily the homeless. And criminalizing homelessness is expensive. It's also inhumane, it's ineffective because it doesn't really benefit anyone at all in any level of the government or in the United States. It also costs taxpayers $83,000 according to NASISH. Arresting or incarcerating an individual is expensive due to homelessness or them not having the resources to take care of themselves. According to TARS, many state and local governments in the United States enact and actively enforce laws that effectively criminalize the existence of people experiencing homelessness. Also, according to Townley, police are often called to address concerns about people experiencing homelessness, with arrests often resulting from low-level, non-violent crimes and violations of minor nuances. But the more minor nuances you have, the more violations you have that can lead to basically a record for that individual who really wasn't making or doing a violent crime. In the United States, there are different resources that are available for individuals who are homeless. So you may ask, how do we work to end homelessness? For homelessness, we need to have advocacy, we need to have social services, we need to also have health services, and not only those things, we also need to have more funding for governments such as the HUD, as well as them collaborating with the Health and Human Services, because both of them together, they build services and programs that help not only individuals who are homeless, individuals who are leading to be homeless, and as well as helping individuals who are currently homeless out of homelessness. According to Zaretsky, homelessness programs may improve the health and well-being, financial security, labor market, and housing outcomes of clients. This in turn may result in decreased utilization of health and justice services, reduced child residential care costs, lower housing management costs, lower income support payments, and higher revenue from increased income tax payments. According to Zoltnik, individuals who likely have obtained consistent entitlement income or have exited government subsidized housing are also more likely to have exited into stable housing. So today, I just wanted to share with you the importance that homelessness has on our community as a whole, and the epidemic that it is becoming to be, or is reaching, or that are basically homelessness is an epidemic, and we must all know that it is an epidemic for it to be taken care of, and for it to not be an issue in the United States, and for us all to help the homeless and advocate for individuals to not be in that situation for the rest of their lives. So homelessness has been looked over for too long, and I think now is the time for us to take that into consideration and make an effort to end homelessness. So thank you for listening.